All right, hello everyone. Thank you for joining me for the self-reflection workshop. My name is Hope Kramer, and I am one of the wellness coordinators here at Cox. So today we're going to talk about self-reflection and the importance of it. This also kind of piggybacks off of what Amy talked about earlier this week. So this is a great, what I want to put in quotations, life hack to achieve your goals. So what exactly is self-reflection? The definition is meditation or serious thought about one's character, actions, and motives. So pretty simple, meditation of serious thought about one's character, actions, and motives. So feel free also throughout this workshop to get out a piece of paper, take some notes, and follow along. So what happens when we don't self-reflect? What goes on? Well, it's what I like to call running on the treadmill of life, right? You just keep going and going and pushing, and you're moving forward, but too often we crash and burn, right? So we just find ourselves, in events that leave us stressed and unhappy, frustrated, or tired. And what happens? We end up burning out, right? We end up falling off the wagon, and maybe that's in different areas of our life. So in order to be successful in life, we actually have to stop. We have to hop off that treadmill. We have to take a look around. We have to reflect on what's working and what's not, what has to stay and what needs to go away. Okay, so I don't know if y'all ever heard of the quote. It's, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, but expecting different results. And I thought that went pretty hand in hand with what we just talked about with the treadmill, and you just keep going and going and going and going. So what are the benefits to self-reflection? So what are you going to get out of it if you start practicing self-reflection? It's going to improve your self-confidence and self-esteem. It's going to also provide perspective, right? Sometimes when we're going, we tend to have that tunnel vision, right? Everything around us can sometimes be blurred. So it's going to bring perspective. It's going to give you a chance to really step back, zoom out, and see the full picture and get out of that tunnel vision. All right, it's going to allow you to respond and not react. Now, what do I mean by this? Sometimes when we go, something happens, right? Something makes us angry or something of that sort, and we tend to just react, right? We say things that we didn't mean to say. We take actions that we didn't mean to take, and that might actually put us a step back from reaching our goals. And so we have to learn to step back and reflect so that we can end up responding in a good manner, in a mature manner, instead of reacting from our emotions. We also will facilitate a deeper level of learning. So one thing that, looking back from my education and learning, I feel like I learned the most when I took time after class to review what I had learned, right? If I had an article, if I just read it and then let it go, right? I didn't retain that information as much. But if I reflected on that article, if I started to ask questions, or just put a summary in my head of what the article was about, I seem to have retained it a lot better. All right, so it facilitates a deeper level of learning. What self-reflection also does, it challenges your assumptions. All right, this one, I feel like, I can definitely be guilty of this. Your truth is not necessarily the truth, right? So when we self-reflect, sometimes we can look at the broader scheme of things, we can gain a new perspective, we can learn at a deeper level, and at that sense, it can also kind of remove some of those assumptions, what we call our truth or your truth, to actually get the truth. All right, so what are these steps for self-reflection? So sorry, this is a little hard to see, so I'm just going to say it, and you're more than welcome to write it down as we go over this. But the first step is to stop. Take a step back from life, or whatever you're doing. So maybe this is an event that had just occurred that made you upset, or maybe you just need to take a step back, take a pause from your day altogether. Then what you need to do is you need to look. Open your eyes, identify, get that perspective on what you notice and see. The third one is listen. Listen, listen. So listen to your inner guide. What is your intuition telling you? All right, what's that inside voice telling you? The innate wisdom that bubbles up when you give it time and space to emerge. The last one is act. Identify the steps you need to take to advance and move forward, adjust, change, and improve. So take those actions. All right, so now let's talk about what to reflect on. Okay, so now we're getting into that action part of things, and so which is going to move us to the other side of our board over here. The first one, you're going to reflect on you. You. So I came up with a few questions on things that you can ask yourself to reflect on you. And this is the thing, this is you time, right? Be honest with yourself during these questions. So I'm going to go ahead and spit out a few if you want to jot any that resonate with you or ones that you want to remember in the future. Go for it. What are my core values? What are the beliefs, guiding principles, or ideas that are deeply important to me? What are my priorities? So super important. And I want you to think of this as, you should be able to clearly answer some of these questions if someone were to ask you. This is the root of who you are. What are my unique gifts, skills, strengths, or talents? What are the weaknesses or blind spots I need to watch out for? What do I want to be? What energy do I want to bring to everything I do? What is the impact or difference I want to make? How do I want to serve, contribute, add value? What are my passions? What do I love? What gets me engaged, motivated, and super excited? Are there any beliefs that I have that are limiting me? What is limiting you? What do I want for my life? Or after all, if you don't know what you want, how do you expect to get there? And when am I at my best? So those are just a few questions that I came up with that you can practice while you are self-reflecting. The second thing that is important to self-reflect on is areas in life. So this might seem a little overwhelming, but I came across what is called the Wheel of Life. So this is like a pinwheel. And this was come up with by Paul Meyer. So Paul, P-A-U-L, Meyer, M-E-Y-E-R, and Wheel of Life. This is what he thinks is a great tool for self-reflection. And so if you Google his name and Wheel of Life, you're going to see all sorts of tools and materials and stuff that you can use for yourself. But areas of life, he has you in the center of a pinwheel. All right, so you're the center. And your areas of life include personal finance, career, and profession is the other one. Spiritual awareness. Now this, if you're not a religious person, or if you don't believe in God, that's not necessarily what this is saying. It can also be in terms of just your overall spirituality. Maybe this is your ethics, your morals, your values, and different things of that sort, right? The things that you talk to your great-grandparents about, your elders, so to say. We have personal development. We have relationships. We have finance, fun and enjoyment, health and aging. All right, so all of these are areas in our life that we need to reflect on. And what Paul Meyer does, he's like, if you're looking to self-reflect, but you get overwhelmed and you're not sure what areas to focus on, he takes a 1 to 10 scale. right? And he has you rate each area of your life, 1 being low, 10 being high. And he'll have you write in your pinwheel, well, my current profession, that's a 9. I'm really happy with that. It brings me joy. My health and aging, though, that definitely gets in the way. So maybe I'm going to give that a 3. And he has you go around the wheel and have you kind of reflect on these different areas of your life. And that is a great stepping stone when you want to first start your self-reflection. So you can start asking the questions I listed earlier, and you can also look at the areas of your life and maybe rate them from your perspective on areas that need improvement the most. And then from that, you can get a clear perspective on questions you want to focus on, areas you want to focus on that you know needs improvement. And you can do this by meditation. You can do this by journaling, by note-taking. Maybe you want to draw this wheel out in your notebook. Or maybe you're different and, just sitting still doesn't bring clarity to you. So maybe you want to go for a ride on your bike or go for a run. And maybe that sparks questions in you and answers to where you need to self-reflect. And this can be a practice that you start off 5 minutes a day that you schedule, or maybe 10 minutes a day, or maybe it's once a week, 30 minutes. But practice and being consistent with this practice definitely builds growth, and it becomes more common and more natural in your everyday life. So this might seem awkward at first, might seem out of your comfort zone, but maybe just stick with it. Start somewhere. Start that schedule on your calendar and just block out 5 to 10 minutes and start journaling. Maybe answering some of those questions or whatever that may be, or maybe some observations that you came across that day on how you were acting, what motives you had, and different things of that sort. And that path of self-reflection might change as the months go on. So like I said, it might feel awkward at first, but this is something that does take practice for it to feel more normal and more natural. But it's so beneficial for you will become a better you and able to achieve your goals and be more successful in the end for it. So thank you for tuning in to the workshop. I hope this was super helpful, and please let me know if you have any questions. My email is hope.kramer, CRAMER, @coxinc.com. I'd be more than happy to send you any resources you want, more information, or anything of that sort. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you guys later. Have a good one.